During a live broadcast from the International Space Station, viewers suddenly noticed something strange drifting into the camera's view. Just seconds later, the feed abruptly cut to black. The timing immediately sparked speculation online, with many asking why the broadcast ended the moment the object appeared.
The astronauts have seen and continue to see objects in space that do not appear to be terrestrial. They do not appear to be our technology. And then the question becomes, whose technology are they?
There is actually something up there interacting with these astronauts.
Then comments from NASA Administrator Bill Nelson added even more intrigue when he admitted that many UFO sightings remain unexplained and that pilots have seen things we don't know what they are. So what exactly appeared on that live feed before it was shut down?
Are there other planet Earths out there? I certainly think so because the universe is so big.
Shutting down the live feed. A routine space broadcast suddenly became a global mystery when a live NASA feed abruptly went dark. Those watching the stream noticed that there was unusual activity near the edge of the frame before the transmission was cut without warning. It has led to circulation of these clips as everyone begins to ask what NASA really knows. NASA has been insisting that its live broadcasts from spacecraft and the International Space Station provide transparency about the activities in orbit. But incidents like this have increased the belief among many that not everything captured in space is actually shared to the public. But in cases like this, they shut off the live feed. Everyone is asking, what did the cameras capture that viewers were not meant to see? The debate grew even louder after comments from Bill Nelson, the current administrator of NASA, admitting that UFOs are real and they are sightings that had not yet been explained. But officials continue to clarify that real does not exactly mean extraterrestrial. Scientists say that many UFO sightings end up being misidentified, but the fact that some of the encounters have not been explained, and they have found strange items in space, it's hard not to think something strange is happening. NASA is already launching studies to examine UFOs using scientific methods and data. But it all started when the ISS tracker detected something strange in space. ISS tracker detects something. A camera feed connected to the International Space Station has drawn massive attention after capturing something that we couldn't believe. It captured a fast-moving object that was passing close to the orbiting lab. The footage was taken from one of the external cameras of the station, and it shows a small, silver-colored object streaking across the frame for only a few seconds before the video suddenly switched to a different camera angle. We all know about the ISS, which orbits Earth at an altitude of about 250 miles and travels at about 17,500 miles per hour, and comes with many cameras that stream views of Earth and all the surrounding areas. The cameras are usually used for educational purposes, and it allows viewers to check the station's surroundings in real time. Sometimes, they captured some objects that we don't expect, like satellites, space debris, or small particles that reflect sunlight. The object can be seen appearing against the darkness of space for a few seconds before it rapidly moves out of view. Its reflective surface is what gives it a metallic or silver appearance, although we have not yet determined the size and distance from the station. Since the object only remained visible for a short time, there isn't a lot of information for analysts to check. But if there's one thing that has got everyone wondering, it's the timing of the camera change. Just a few seconds after the object entered the frame, the feed cut to another camera angle. As you can expect, a lot of people believe that this was intentional, probably because they wanted to stop the world from seeing what was in space at that moment. ISS continues to say that it's normal to randomly cut the cameras, and this is automatic. But the fact that we were never taken back to that camera to see the strange UFO in outer space has brought up questions. Is NASA keeping some things away from us? Despite the questions everyone is asking, There isn't any other footage or data, so it's hard to identify the object. Objects usually seen near the ISS usually include fragments of orbital debris, ice particles released during station operations, or other satellites passing through nearby orbital paths. Because objects in orbit move very quickly compared to the station, even small debris can seem to cross the camera's field of view in a fraction of a second. Experts also say that brief UFOs in space footage isn't unusual since thousands of satellites and millions of debris fragments are now sharing the low Earth orbit. For now, the UFO can't be unidentified yet, but NASA is keeping things under the wraps. But to find out more about what's happening out there, NASA is now employing AI to search for extraterrestrial signals. And you won't believe what they found. The Breakthrough Listen program that takes us to the breakthrough. Listen program, one of the largest scientific efforts dedicated to look for extraterrestrial intelligence. This has reported the detection of dozens of unusual signs known as fast radio bursts, and that adds a new intrigue to the study of deep space phenomena. Researchers that are working with the program identified 72 fast radio bursts while analyzing large volumes of astronomical data using artificial intelligence. These signals were detected with the Green Bank Telescope, one of the world's most sensitive radio telescopes located in West Virginia. The discovery has shown how machine learning tools are being used to sift through massive data sets collected by modern observatories. Fast radio bursts are extremely powerful pulses of radio waves that last only a fraction of a second. Despite their brief duration, they can release as much energy as the sun emits over several days, and that's why we don't understand it. FRBs are now known as one of the most puzzling astrophysical phenomena currently under study. Their exact origin remains unknown, and each new detection adds valuable data that scientists hope will eventually lead to a clear explanation. The Breakthrough Listen initiative has turned to artificial intelligence largely because of the sheer scale of information being gathered by telescopes. Modern radio observatories constantly scan the sky and produce a lot of data that would normally take human researchers years just to review manually. By training algorithms to recognize patterns with potential signals, scientists can identify anomalies much more quickly. In this case, the AI system scanned archived telescope observations and flagged signals that scientists never noticed for a long time. But it became even weirder. The 72 fast radio bursts were coming from locations far beyond our galaxy. They didn't come from the Milky Way at all, which means that they traveled across immense cosmic distances before they reached Earth. What was causing these signals? Could it be UFOs or technology from extraterrestrial sources we didn't know existed? Well, scientists don't want to believe in the existence of aliens. They are suggesting that these signals could be caused by highly magnetized neutron stars known as magnetars, while others say they might be the cause of extreme cosmic events like collapsing stars or interactions around black holes. For the Breakthrough Listen program, the detection shows just how important artificial intelligence is in astronomy. As telescopes became more powerful and datasets continue to expand, AI systems have become more important, and they have revealed that there are signals way beyond the Milky Way. Just when we thought NASA would continue to keep their secrets, the space agency finally admitted to the existence of extraterrestrial bodies. NASA admits extraterrestrial existence. When Bill Nelson, the administrator of NASA, released a shocking statement, he made the world realize that NASA really knows and believes more than they let on. He addressed the UFO reports and admitted that many sightings spotted by military personnel have not yet been explained. According to Nelson, the U.S. government has documented over 300 sightings of UFOs since 2004. Many of those incidents involve trained military pilots who encountered objects displaying unusual flight characteristics. Nelson explained that he personally spoke with several of these pilots and emphasized that they were convinced that they had seen something real. He said, "They know they saw something," and that their aircraft radars actually locked onto those UFOs and tracked them during the encounters. Despite radar confirmation and pilot testimony, officials still have no idea what these objects are or where they came from. Nelson also said that he was concerned about the technological capabilities of many of the UFOs that have been spotted over the years. Many of those objects moved very quickly and changed their positions in ways that normal aircraft can't easily replicate. Because of this, he said one possibility investigators are looking at is whether the objects could represent advanced technology developed by another country. But Nelson added that researchers hope this isn't the case. But if the technology doesn't come from Earth, is it less or more worrying? After all, it means that there are civilizations out there with highly advanced technology we cannot yet match. Beyond the mystery of UFO sightings, Nelson spoke more broadly about the search for life elsewhere in the universe. He has repeatedly expressed the view that humanity is unlikely to be alone, largely because of the immense scale of the cosmos. The universe contains billions of galaxies, each with billions of stars and potentially habitable planets. With numbers that large, Nelson argues it is difficult to believe Earth is the only place where life has emerged. NASA is now trying to answer these questions through different scientific missions. One approach involves studying distant planets to look for signs of atmospheres that might support life. Another focuses on icy moons that are within our solar system that might contain subsurface oceans. There are also instruments like the James Webb Space Telescope, which are being used to analyze the chemical makeup of exoplanet atmospheres in unprecedented detail, searching for possible biological signatures. Nelson added that they haven't found any confirmed evidence of extraterrestrial intelligence yet, but they are open to the possibility of other worlds. Possibility of other worlds. The question of whether humanity is alone in the universe has moved into mainstream scientific discussion, and the recent comments from Bill Nelson has made this conversation even more intense. Nelson has been reflecting on the scale of the universe and suggested that the existence of other life forms is a possibility scientists cannot ignore. Speaking about humanity's place in the cosmos, Nelson posed a series of fundamental questions like, who is out there? Who are we? How did we get here? He emphasized that the universe contains billions of stars and billions of galaxies, a scale so vast that even experienced astronomers can't fully understand it. With numbers so large, it has become even harder to assume that Earth is the only place where life could actually develop. Nelson's comments came during a broader discussion about UFOs and ongoing scientific efforts to understand the universe. He made it clear that there is no confirmed evidence of extraterrestrial civilizations yet, but he has admitted that there might be life elsewhere, and that's a serious scientific question. The universe is about 13.8 billion years old, and astronomers have discovered thousands of planets outside our solar system, which they call exoplanets, many of which orbit stars that are similar to the Sun. In the interview, Nelson went even further and suggested that it's unrealistic to believe that Earth is the only place with organized and intelligent life in existence. As he said, "Who am I to say that planet Earth is the only location of a life form that is civilized and organized like ours?" He says that the immense size of the universe leaves room for many unknown possibilities. He also pointed out that modern science is currently discovering places where life could exist. NASA missions are now exploring locations such as Mars and icy moons like Europa and Enceladus, which might contain subsurface oceans which support microbial organisms. At the same time, Advanced observatories like the James Webb Space Telescope are analyzing the atmospheres of distant exoplanets while searching for chemical signatures that could be a sign of biological activity. For Nelson, the search for life is mostly about understanding humanity's place in the universe. The idea that life might exist elsewhere could reshape how people view Earth and their responsibility towards it. So the worlds out there could be holding life just like Earth. But NASA continues to investigate and find more things we never knew about Earth. Previous astronaut sightings. The ISS sighting wasn't the only one, as there have always been reports of unusual objects seen by astronauts on the base over the past 2 decades. Many of these sightings at first raised rumors about UFOs, but it shows how highly trained astronauts sometimes face phenomena that are difficult to identify. One of the most popular incidents happened in 2005, when astronaut Leroy Chiao was serving as commander of the ISS during Expedition 10. During a spacewalk about 230 miles above Earth, Chiao noticed something strange while installing navigation antennas outside the station. He saw 5 bright lights arranged in a line that resembled an upside-down check mark moving across his field of view. Chiao described the moment as surprising, noticing that the lights moved fast and appeared organized in formation. But when we asked NASA, what they said was that those lights were probably powerful lamps from fishing boats hundreds of miles below on Earth. Another shocking sighting happened in 2013, when astronaut Chris Cassidy recorded video of a mysterious object floating near the ISS. Cassidy spotted the object drifting near the station during operations involving the Progress 52 cargo spacecraft. At first, the object seemed to be an unidentified piece of hardware, and some suspected that it might be an unknown craft. But NASA and Russian mission controllers said that this was just an antenna cover that had detached from the Zvezda service module. Other astronauts dealt with similar experiences where objects at first seemed mysterious but were later traced to common orbital debris or equipment fragments. According to spaceflight experts, the environment around the ISS is filled with small pieces of debris, ice crystals, and fragments released during routine station operations. In the vacuum of space, these items can float freely and sometimes appear larger or closer than they actually are, especially when sunlight reflects off their surfaces. Astronauts are among the most reliable observers in space, and when they see something unusual, it makes many curious. While this is strange, NASA has noticed something even odder happening in space, and they can't really explain it. Disappearing stars astronomers that have been analyzing decades of sky survey data have noticed something strange. Stars that are found in older astronomical images seem to be missing in the most recent observations. This has caused widespread debate among many researchers who are trying to understand how the stars disappeared from the night sky. The mystery started when scientists compared photographic plates of the sky taken in the 1950s with modern digital observations from the 2010s. In many cases, stars that were obvious in earlier images were no longer present in the same location. While a single missing star could be explained by observational error, researchers noticed that there were hundreds of stars, which were unaccounted for when large datasets were examined together. One of the studies investigating this phenomenon was led by Beatriz Villarroel. The research team analyzed historical sky data from the U.S. Naval Observatory catalog and compared it with modern observations. That's when they noticed that around 100 candidate stars had vanished without a trace. Normally, stars don't just disappear. When massive stars reach the end of their lives, they explode as supernovae or collapse into dense remnants such as neutron stars or black holes. These processes usually leave visible evidence, including bright bursts of light or lingering debris clouds that astronomers can detect with telescopes. But for these missing stars, None of these signs were found. That's when researchers started to consider other explanations. Some researchers suggested that it could be because of mistakes in the older photographs, while others say the missing stars might have dimmed a lot, moved, or be defected. Of course, there are some theories about extraterrestrial sources. Some scientists have proposed that an extremely advanced civilization might build massive energy-collecting structures around stars, and that obscures them from view. But astronomers say that there's not enough evidence about this yet. Massive solar eruption. Another sighting that NASA is struggling to explain now is the massive solar eruption captured by the Solar Orbiter spacecraft, which gives one of the clearest views ever recorded of a violent explosion on the surface of the Sun. The event was observed by a joint mission between the European Space Agency and NASA, and revealed a colossal arc of superheated plasma blasting outward into space. The eruption happened on February 15th and was recorded by the spacecraft's extreme ultraviolet imager, which includes a camera that's known as the Full Sun Imager. The instrument actually captured the entire solar disk and at the same time tracked a gigantic plume of solar material way beyond the Sun's surface. Scientists called this the largest solar prominence eruption ever captured in a single image, together with the full face of the Sun. Solar prominences are massive loops of plasma that rise from the Sun's surface and are held in place by powerful magnetic fields. When these magnetic structures are unstable, they can erupt violently and release vast clouds of charged particles into space. These explosions are usually because of coronal mass ejections, which can send billions of tons of solar material racing through the solar system. In this particular event, the prominence expanded millions of miles into space as it erupted. The cloud of plasma was clearly visible, stretching outward in extreme ultraviolet wavelengths, allowing scientists to track the structure in remarkable detail. Fortunately, the CME produced by this eruption was not for Earth, meaning it posed no threat to satellites, power systems, or communications networks. Still, this happening was very valuable for researchers. The spacecraft captured the entire solar disk and the expanding eruption in a single frame, so scientists can study how events on the Sun's surface connect to large-scale explosions in the corona. High-energy light Jupiter. Aside from this solar eruption, something similar happened in Jupiter when a powerful burst of high-energy light was detected coming out of the giant planet. NASA called this one of the most energetic planetary phenomena ever observed in the solar system. Scientists say the discovery shows that the gas giant behaves like a natural particle accelerator, which can generate extreme radiation far beyond what researchers expected before. The discovery was made using NASA's space-based X-ray telescope NuSTAR, which detected intense high-energy X-rays coming from the planet's polar regions. These emissions are connected to Jupiter's massive auroras, which are brilliant light displays near the north and south poles, similar to Earth's northern lights, but vastly more powerful. Researchers say this is the highest energy light ever detected from a planet other than Earth. Auroras form when charged particles crash into a planet's atmosphere. On Earth, these particles mainly come from the solar wind. On Jupiter, however, the process is far more extreme. The planet's enormous magnetic field, one of the strongest in the solar system, acts like a giant electromagnetic engine. It accelerates charged particles to tremendous speeds and funnels them toward the poles where they collide with gases in the upper atmosphere. When those particles slam into Jupiter's atmosphere, they release energy in the form of light. Most auroras emit visible light, or relatively low-energy radiation, but Jupiter's collisions are powerful enough to produce intense X-rays. Scientists believe many of these particles originate from volcanic material blasted into space by Jupiter's moon Io. The particles become trapped in Jupiter's magnetic field and are accelerated until they strike the planet's atmosphere at incredible speeds. This detection solved a mystery that puzzled scientists for decades. NASA has been keeping a lot of classified findings from us, but they are finally revealing some of their findings and thoughts about extraterrestrial life. Do you believe in this possibility? Let's know your thoughts in the comments. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the next video showing on your screen. You will enjoy it.